Oh, I am Timothy Kennedy, and today I will be reviewing, with no spoilers, Gladiator 2. Please don't hate me. I recently watched the first Gladiator. I think a couple months ago, my dad showed me and my brother because, we hadn't seen it. We knew Gladiator 2 was coming out. Man, seeing Russell Crowe and then seeing literally Joaquin Phoenix just absolutely go back and forth with one another, man, that is a story of someone who had everything taken from them and seeing this villain get the W the whole time, and then watching someone become an ancient version of John Wick completely carry their way all the way to the top to get their revenge. Oh my god. And then the story ended so perfectly because it was a sad ending, but to me it was the correct ending. And so when I watched Gladiator 2, I wasn't sure, because I was sitting there and I'm like, all right, what could they possibly do to do the same trope of, because obviously Gladiator, I would assume, works when it's an underdog story. You're watching someone who has stuff get it taken away, fight their way to the top and get their revenge. That's the thing that fills me up. And so, when I watched this story, unfortunately, I didn't care as much. And I feel like in the first Gladiator, I had to care because they did give you at least a decent amount of screen time when it came to seeing who his character is, seeing his family, seeing his status, seeing where everybody's place in the world was, his pecking order, himself to the current emperor, all of that. And then to see it get snatched away from him and him to go to the absolute bottom of the barrel, like, you felt that because you're like, this man literally lost everything, and not just everything, he has been stripped of his power. Most people will literally just give up after that. What is your reason of living? And this man literally fought his way like Batman to the top to get his exact revenge, no matter how much the Emperor and Joaquin Phoenix's character tried to mess him up. It's something where you're like, no, yeah, you as a man deserve that. When I watched this story, they already started off bad because I just didn't even care what even happened to the main character's person. Like, I just did not care for the outcome because I just saw him for literally less than 10 minutes. So how could I have any connection if he took an L? That's unfortunate. There's no character connection there. Listen, I'll give Gladiator 2 this. Their set design is disgustingly insane. I was looking at some of the BTS for it and I was like, dear God, how did they have the money for this? Because they're literally building coliseums. And you know what? Props to you guys. They didn't use no AI on these extras. They paid for people to show up, and that's exactly the type of stuff I want to see. Look, Gladiator felt lived in, okay? I definitely felt like they went all out with making us feel like we were back where we were supposed to be at in Rome. I felt like the coliseums were packed and full of people. And honestly, some people may not have liked the accuracy of them having like the battle in the arena on water with the sharks in there. As somebody who just got done playing nothing but Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I feel like for some reason I am a historian when it comes to that sort of time period. And so I was like, hey man, I'm all good for it. Bring on the sharks, baby. Bring on the rhinos. Bring on the fights. I'm all there for it. The two emperors. I wasn't necessarily a fan of the two emperors. They didn't even seem like they had a reason. Like, I feel like Joaquin's reason was that, he's been treated as somebody like underneath. He was his own underdog where he was from, and so he himself needed to prove that he was worth being an emperor. And so I watched these emperors and I felt like they kind of just were power hungry monsters. And listen, that's fine, but if you don't give me a reason of why they're power hungry monsters, they're just characters that are just crazy. Which means to me, I don't root for them. I don't care if they die. I don't care about anything of them. I'm just like, you guys are here to be crazy, which gives us enough reason to hate you. That's your role in this thing. Yeah, when it came to Denzel's character, I'm not gonna lie, I wish he did learn the accents, because I'm almost certain that man told them, I'm not learning no accent, because I'm sure there's certain actors who feel like it hinders their acting trying to learn an accent, and they'd rather just not and just give their acting performance, which is fair. Listen, Denzel literally still was the most entertaining factor to me in this entire film. Now, do I feel like character could have given more? He was so wrapped in mystery, and they kept like sprinkling little things of like, who are you? How are you here? And he was this conniving, smart man, and I was interested every time, but I could have taken him literally out of that scenario and put him in a gangster movie as a mafia boss, and it would have been the exact same charisma. As it was very modern, as my dad once said. There were certain things also that they just kind of like story-wise, I guess, just let slide, where honestly the first fight that he had, it would have been over. It should have been over. It would have been over. Nobody would have survived that. The other Gladiator was more realistic because to me, he was put in scenarios that honestly, with his skills and expertise, he could best them. Some of those scenarios, I was like, in no universe, if you've never gone up against this, would you know how to deal with this or how to win? Diseases existed back then, so I have no idea how they got away with it. I did enjoy it. I wasn't as entertained as when I watched Wicked, unfortunately, and I wasn't as entertained when I watched the first Gladiator, but it was an entertaining enough watch to watch it at least once. Like me personally, I'm going back to watch Wicked for sure. I wouldn't mind if somebody was like, yo, you want to go watch Gladiator 1 again? I wouldn't mind that. I don't think I would go watch Gladiator 2. But I am glad that I did see it. This was a 7 out of 10. This is a 7 out of 10 for me. I give it a C. It had its moments. It had great, costume design. The actors clearly were, living their truths as the characters. It just wasn't enough to captivate me to feel a certain way about each character's, journeys throughout the film. But yeah, let me know in the comments, guys. What do you guys think when it came to Gladiator 2? Let me know below. As always, I will see you guys in the concession stand. Bye bye.